younger, age 11 basically, she wanted to become a sister. She came to Canada hoping that she would get better. It never happened. She went to the parish priest and asked him, I'd like to become a sister, can you help me? And the priest said, my dear, no community will welcome you. And it's true. If you don't have good health, you cannot really be welcomed by a monastery of sisters or priests because you become a burden on the community. You have to have good health. You might not be able to do anything else, but you have to have good health. This person did not have a gram of good health. She was waiting to die any minute. And so she was totally discouraged, and she walked away knowing that she will never be able to fulfill her desire. Here comes Father Claudio. If you have not noticed Father Claudio yet, I'm crazy. So I warn you, okay? Don't tell me anything, don't do anything, because I am absolutely nuts. So what did I do? I dove right into the hot water. And I came up with the question, do you still have the desire to become a sister? It's a true question. But I should not have asked, because this lady could not live in a monastery. It was the ultimate, okay? And she said, so, are you making fun of me? And I said, no, I'm not making fun of you. I'm asking you a question. Do you still? That's the important word. Because, okay, 11 years, when you were 11 years old, you desire. What about now? Do you still have that desire? And she said, she got the message. Smart woman, intelligent, you wouldn't believe it. And she said, it will be the greatest day of my life. I said, good, number one. Number two, what community do you want to join? Passionist. Well, I said, now we are home. I'm a passionist. I think I can help you. Crazy. Absolutely nuts. And she said it. Are you making fun of me? I said, no, I'm not making fun of you. I'm asking a question. And I felt, honest to goodness, if this person has a desire to become a sister, a professed religious sister, she should have the chance to do that, period. And I would go to the end of the world fighting for her. And I did. I wrote a letter to the Mother General in Rome, whom I had met a year before in Sicily, of all places. And I wrote down, I met this lady, she will never be well again. She is dying on a hospital bed, but she has expressed the desire to become a sister. I ask you to come over, receive her in your community, bring another sister with you, leave her behind so that the two of them can establish a new community in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Sincerely yours, Father Claudio Piccinini. Crazy. I should have said, the crazy man. The mother answered, and he said, we are going to put ourselves in an attitude of waiting and discerning. I said, great. I'm in the house. At least they got me in, okay? They were going to think about it, and they're going to see whether or not they should respond. Well, to make a long story short, they responded, and they came to Canada. She came with the vicar general. She was the top level of the community, and received her into the community. Well, if you have ever seen a happy individual that day, when she heard that she was coming to receive her in the community, she was the happiest woman that you could possibly meet. Meanwhile, people discover that she exists, because I would talk about her without telling the people where she was, a hospital, because I knew what would have happened. If they knew that somebody was suffering the way she was suffering, without complaining, actually asking for more, the room where she lived would have been crowded 24 hours of the day. People would want to meet this individual. And that's what happened. Without telling them, I would tell the story that I met somebody who was absolutely in love with Jesus. And she was suffering things that you wouldn't believe. Well, Father, can we meet this person? I said, well, no, I cannot tell you to meet her, but I would like to ask you to pray for her. And so there were people, knowing that there was this human being at Riverdale Hospital. I never mentioned the hospital, never mentioned the floor, the room, or anything like that. As I'm explaining the passion of Jesus, that Jesus died for us on the cross, we have an individual right in the midst of the community who is suffering with Jesus on the cross for our sins, period. And so the people say, well, can we meet this person? I said, well, that is not up to me. You would have to call her. And I asked her, is it okay with you? She said, yeah. If they want to come and visit me, they can. But guess what? The waiting room was filled from morning to night. And she could receive people only from 2 o'clock in the afternoon to 8 or 9 o'clock at night, when the hospital would eliminate the visitors, so to speak. An incredible story. She became a sister, and in one of our conversations one evening, she asked me the question if there was a cross at the altar. Do you have a cross at the altar? I said, what does she ask? I said, yeah, we have a crucifix in the chapel. We have a cross on top of the chapel. And I said, well, what do you mean by a cross? No, she said, I mean a cross in the middle of the field. Because by then, she had joined the organization. She joined the group that I had started, the United Society, that bought the property in 1972. And she joined the group. She said, I've never heard this kind of a mission. I want to be a part of this mission. I said, thank you very much. I felt that I was in good company. And she was praying and she was spreading the word. And so people went to see her. And when they saw what she was suffering, and she would say, have you ever been at Theopolis? No, where is it? Well, that's Father Claudio. He started this group. If you want to go and pray. God will answer your prayers. So the people went to see her. They wanted to come to Theopolis to pray in front of the cross. I think I mentioned to you today that there were 60 buses. Can you imagine? 60 buses of people one day. There was no room where they could come and park. They parked along the road. And they didn't get a fine because they saw something is going on here. Thousands of people have been here a Sunday for a pilgrimage. Why? Because they would go to visit her and she would ask the question, have you been at Theopolis? No, what is it? Find out. And she was there organizing the buses. How did she do that? Don't ask me. And everybody wants to go through her. We had a couple groups, the heads of groups that would organize the bus. No. I'm going to call sister. See, they all went to talk to sister. And it became a real burden. Never complained. She took care of people. She talked. She blessed. And she suffered because of it. And she was willing to suffer for the benefit of getting people to come to the altar. Incredible. And guess what? We are in danger. The organization has been duped. Not by people that are malicious, but they have done it almost as if it's natural. They joined the group, they joined the association, the United Society, and I explained it is for families. Now, if you are an individual, you're not married, you don't have children, can you join? Of course you can. But if you're married and you have children, then you join as a family. Simple, right? No, it's not simple. And it took me more than 50 years to understand. Right now, we are in danger. You see those people working in the kitchen? They're all volunteers. But there are people who are not here, who are members of the group. And the children, and not been encouraged to join. So that the family, that I began the group to unite the family is as divided as you can possibly imagine. And it took me all this time to understand it. And it took an act of God to make me see it. Now what's happening? The older people are dying. The younger people are not present. The family never participated as a family. We ran programs for the children. And if you meet somebody who has been at Theopolis and they tell you that they did not have a good experience, come to me, tell me their names, and I tell you what happened. Because there was no such thing. Just to give you an example, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, I was at All Saints, the parish close to where I live. The pastor invites me over sometime to give my hand with masses. And I was in the foyer there, there were people gathering. And this beautiful young lady, I have to say beautiful, she was a beautiful lady. When I looked at her, I said, wow, it's a masterpiece. And she said, Father, I know you. She introduced herself with those words, Father, I know you. I said, yes, where we met. I was at Theopolis as a young child. You were, yes. And you taught us a prayer that I pray every night before I go to bed. I couldn't believe my ears. This young lady spent 2 weeks as a camper, quote unquote. And part of the thing